with your eyes. Go ahead.
And great living creatures that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind. And every winged fowl after his kind. And God saw that it was good.
Oh, okay, so you got that 14th Street homo. All right. Okay, bring out the precept. Okay, go ahead.
Mark 16 verse 15. Mark 16 verse 15. And he said unto them, go ye into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature.
Right, you what? So we preaching to cows now? Right. We preaching to lamb and sheep. Hey, you know the Lord is coming. It's talking about men. Okay, so this is when men was created on that day, that 1000th year that the Lord was terraforming the universe, and particularly at this point he was working with the earth, with him and the angels. Okay, bring that up.
2nd Esdras 8:45.
Okay.
Be not wroth with us, but spare thy people and have mercy upon thine inheritance, for thou art merciful unto thy creature.
Unto thy creature. We're a creature. Why are we a creature? Because we were created.
The creature was subject to vanity.
You know? It said, it tell you in Romans that they worship the creature above the creator. Everything created really is a creature. But when you talk about in the scriptures, a creature on that day also includes men. They weren't given a name yet, though. That's what we're going to read about. Go ahead. Oh yeah, get the word.
It's Napash,
which means yep.
And it's a soul, self, life, creature, person, appetite, mind, living being, desire, emotion.
Now when the Lord breathed into Adam's nostrils, it said he became a living soul.
Right.
That's the same word. He was already a living soul.
Right.
What does that living soul mean? It means that he was given the laws and the understanding of how to maneuver and operate on the earth between God and man. And to deliver that to his posterity, man. Okay? That's why Cain knew better than to put that sacrifice of vegetables and fruit up, because Adam had already the man Adam had already taught him the right ways. And that's why when the Lord came at him, he said, well, look, what you mad for? If you do well, you know what I'm saying? Ain't I gonna uphold you? Keep reading, brother.
Right.
See, that's what's wrong. You don't got no business touching the Bible, man. I'm talking about to the 14th Street homo. Go ahead.
Genesis 1:22. And God blessed them, saying, be fruitful and multiply. And fill the waters.
Hold on, where you?
21. I can start
read it again.
21. And God created great whales and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind. And God saw that it was good.
Yep.
And God blessed them, saying,
Hey, no pictures, please.
Yeah.
No, please.
It's only what they wanted.
We asked them. Didn't you just witness us ask that man nicely, man?
That's true.
If he asked us,
all you care about is what you.
If he asked us,
all you do is what. I've asked you about your website before, and if I could see it, but you denied me. But you denied me access. All you want to do is have. All you want to do is have all your own followers. All your own followers. That's all you want to say.
Hey, you straight up lying, man.
Really?
Yeah.
What is your website so I can look at the video?
We're the architect from the Matrix.
Go to GMS.
What is the website?
Go to YouTube.
I'm sorry, I can't tell who you're talking to.
Go to YouTube. Type in GMS Men of Wisdom 7. Okay, spell the number 7 out. Okay.
GMS Men of Assembly.
Men of Wisdom.
Men of Wisdom.
And you'll find it.
GMS Men of Wisdom.
And you'll find many other people that are gonna curse you out.
Hey brother, I've asked you before.
And you told you before, man.
And you're more concerned about
I just didn't know who you were looking at when you asked me. Go ahead.
Right.
Oh, that's
Verse
funny,
22.
brother. That's real funny. That's real Christian.
Hey, you insulted me, so I'm
That's
gonna
real
insult you right
Christian-like.
back. You insulted me, so I'm gonna insult you right back. Like the prophets of old did.
I've told you
Okay?
have
Go ahead.
good. I've told
And
you
God
have
bless
you
you,
have
Sam.
good knowledge of the Bible, and you have good hearing. Look, brother, I'm sorry that he wanted to yell while I was still
read the
speaking.
scriptures, man.
But if that is all you're doing, you are worried about yelling
Hey, man.
the scriptures when I'm still speaking
You got
because
one-
he told you to.
You got
That
one
is
mouth-
all you're
you got one
concerned
mouth for
about,
2
brother.
ears, man. You got
Thanks.
one mouth for 2 ears, man.
Thanks, man. Let's get. Thanks.
Seriously,
Verse 22.
You think it's a joke,
And God
but it's
blessed
not.
them, saying,
Nobody
"Be fruitful
follows you."
and multiply, and fill the waters and the seas, and let fowl and let
like a chameleon there, you know.
Hey, I love when they always say nobody follows us, right? But we started out with 2 people. What y'all talking about, man?
man, you know, we don't care about what you people think about us, man.
That's right,
You
man.
got the hobgoblin coming up here. He needs to go find his little hovercraft and fly his ass up out of here, man. Because the Most High's getting ready to destroy people like that, man. You know? Now, we're being nice to you people out here. We're just telling you and forewarning you what's to come.
Yeah, we not. Listen, you leave us alone, we'll leave you alone. But we are gonna tell you the truth.
Right.
We ain't gonna withhold the truth from you. So that's what we're going through right now. Go ahead.
Right. Genesis 1:22. And God blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful and multiply and fill the waters and the sea."
That's every creature. At this point, man was created. Okay? At this point, man was created. It's not when. See, y'all think that the Lord, y'all think that the Lord literally took Adam, took this one man, Adam, out of the ground, and then he took a rib out of him and
Like that was hard for the Most High.
I mean, he could have did it that way, but that's not how he did it. That's parabolic and allegoric talk. Okay, go ahead.
Which proves that is that Cain went and got a wife.
Well, I was about to get into it.
Magical bitches.
We about to.
How did Cain go get a wife?
Cain left out of the paradise. Is like,
How did he get away?
We're gonna explain it. We're gonna explain it. Go ahead. See, that's why these preachers don't have no business teaching the Bible, man. Go ahead.
right. I'm in the middle of verse 22. And fill the waters and the seas, and let fowl multiply in the earth, and the evening and the morning were the 5th day.
That's right.
And God said, "Let the earth bring forth the living creature after his kind, cattle and creeping things,
This is when man was created. Okay, go ahead.
and beasts of the earth after his kind."
Yep.
And it was so.
Yeah, after that kind, like a dog, even though you have different varieties of dogs, this is also another thing that debunks evolution. Because even though you have different varieties of dogs, there's no dog that's going to be able to sleep with a cat and create something. A lion can. I just watched a video where a lion slept with a tiger and created what they call it, a liger. And then a male tiger can sleep with a female lion and create what's called a tigon. Why? Because they're cats. If a lynx could take the pain and that womb didn't get destroyed, hey, you might be able to create a lynx or a tinx or something. You know what I mean? Go ahead, brother.
Right.
It's everything after its kind. Go ahead.
Right. And God made the beasts of the earth after his kind, and the cattle after their kind, and everything that creepeth upon the earth after his kind.
Now in evolution, they say that you have proof that there are transitional forms and all of this other stuff, right? They've never proved that. That's why it's still called a theory, man. They've never observed anything that comes from one kind of species into another kind of species. They've never observed.
They're just postulating
that it might have happened.
Well, all the greatest evolutionary theorists, they admit that there's no transitional fossil. There was never a point where a human bone transitioned into a monkey.
From a monkey.
No, what they try to use is they try to use the concept of mutations.
Right.
Well, listen, a mutation never yields anything good. A mutation always yields something bad. Now they talk about a light spot in the eye, right? So you mean to tell me for millions of years we was walking, bumping around, and then
No heart.
And then,
but-
hold on, let me finish. But then all of a sudden,
Mutation.
a mutation that always degenerates. It never upgrades you. It always degenerates. All of a sudden, them little slits on our
Yeah.
face opened up, and we can see colors.
Yeah.
And
We have mutations.
Forms.
We have mutations that are going on in our bodies all the time. One chief mutation that people suffer is cancer.
yeah, that's a mutation.
All right. You have certain cells in the body that are called mesenchymal cells, which is basically or originative type of cell that can change into the integumentary system.
Yep.
It might transition into osteocytes to make bone. It might change into
Stem cells, basically.
Yep. And they go from there. But the body can recognize when that mesenchymal cell goes up.
Yep.
Like kill it. That ain't right. That's what. It's never a form of something that's upgrading, man. You
So
know?
mutation is purely negative in your theory.
Well, it's just the nature of
That's the nature of
reality, man.
mutations.
So could you define mutation?
Well, let's get it in the dictionary.
Go ahead. No,
I got
Hey, no picture.
nah, man, let him. We told him already. Yeah, we told him already.
He's a devil.
Beast now.
No,
He does it while he smokes a cigarette because it makes him cooler.
he's on his super tight shit.
That's Max Payne right there.
I'm gonna take a picture of you guys, and you're not gonna stop me.
Bruce Wayne.
some of them don't get it.
It's coming up.
Hey,
Hold on one second. What's that?
You got questions? No, we're trying to answer.
well, I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to like interrupt.
No, you good, man.
You have the definition.
No, I just had a site.
I got the dictionary.com.
It'll take us a while to break down evolution. But the reality of the matter is that after careful study.
Yeah. You should get a book.
Now let me say
called The
this.
Evolution
There
Handbook.
is there's a book called the Evolution
It's good.
Handbook.
It's a good book.
Evolution Handbook.
Real
Real
Evolution Handbook, man. It goes
Goes
through
into carbon
all
dating.
all that, man.
It goes all into the various forms of carbon dating.
A mutation is a change in a DNA sequence.
Right, but our DNA is always changing.
But there's a pre-sequence, man.
Right.
You have to understand that there's always a set.
You talking to
sequence
people
that's pushed
that
forward.
studied this.
You know what I'm saying? It's
You
not
ain't talking to
supposed
people
go
that,
out.
and I'm talking about at a college level, university level, to become doctors. Okay, you're not talking to some random dude that read an evolution book.
No, I mean I agree with you. I mean there's a core
Right there.
sequence
But
in the
yeah,
DNA.
and whenever your body is built to protect itself, man.
Right, I
And all
understand that.
all these creatures in and of itself, man. Once if one of the A doesn't connect with the T or the C doesn't connect with the G, and it's a miscalculation, they even have it in the computer world.
Right. Yep.
But if you study string theory, we were talking about this probably about 5 months ago. How when if you send an email out and it's just the zeros and the ones, the bits that are going for, it might say, "Hey Johnny,
The string is correct.
I fucked Susie last night." That might be what you sent. But they say, "Hey Johnny," and it messes up the FUCK and sends something else. There's something built inside of their computer that was
It's called a self-corrector.
a self-corrector that will correct it
Program correct.
before it matches up to that other person's.
Quantum
Email.
physicists and quantum theorists have actually found an equation that there's a self-corrector in the universe.
Yep.
Right, there has to be in order
Right.
to have
Right.
balance.
Right.
Exactly. So you have the same thing going on in our computer systems.
Because that's basically what we are.
You
We're
know?
computer systems.
Yeah.
Right.
We're organic computer systems.
Right.
Okay.
Right, and I mean if that's the
Oh.
case, all I'm saying is if that's the case, then that means that if we are computer systems, that can be manipulated.
Of course it
By the
can.
Most High Power.
By the Most High
by the Most High
Power.
Power,
That's
which
what
is
we're
in all
reading
of
about.
us.
That's what
That's
we're
what
talking
that's what
Now,
we're reading about.
his will wasn't to make us monkeys at one point and change us into human beings. That never was recorded. That's not true.
I don't agree with that.
Okay,
I'm not saying that we evolved from monkeys.
No,
I'm
we're
just saying
making
that.
point.
No, he's just making the point. But we're saying, like, if I'm a computer programmer, I'm the computer programmer. It's going to be based off of my will. We're reading his will.
How do we know that's his will?
You gotta slow down and stop jumping around and let us get to it. Now read this.
1 Corinthians 15 and 38. But God giveth a body as it had pleased him, and to every seed his own body. All flesh is not the same flesh, but there is one kind of flesh of men, another flesh of beasts, another flesh of fishes, and another of birds.
In other words, so he's telling you everything comes after its kind. That's what Paul was reiterating. Now
This is the Most High speaking, right?
no, that was Paul. That was Paul speaking through. I mean, the Most High speaking through.
So Most High
Paul.
speaking through Paul,
Speaking through Paul. How do we know that the Most High is speaking through you?
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, that's what I'm going to get. I tell you in give me Isaiah, I believe, chapter 42 and 9. It's all based off of prophecy, man. It's all based off of prophecy. If you walk away from here, and I tell you that a pigeon is gonna come land on your right shoulder after you walk about 2 feet, and then you walk about 2 feet, and the pigeon comes land on your shoulder, you're gonna wonder what's working. What type of power is working with that guy?
Yeah, it's like we just read that.
Right. But the likelihood of that is.
But I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that because I'm not on that level. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you asking about the word of God and how what makes us think it's true.
No, this is my perspective.
Well,
My
what we're getting
perspective
into is
that-
prophecy is
Right.
what gives us faith and belief in this book.
I agree with that. What I'm saying is that the Most High, you know what I'm saying, dwells in all of us. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, he is all.
regardless of what is written exactly in these books. This is you're reading out of 1611 King James Bible,
Yes,
right?
correct.
That's written by the same people that put us in captivity.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
What do you mean prove it?
Prove it.
Okay, prove that King James wrote the Bible.
He didn't write it.
He
Who wrote it?
He authorized 72. He authorized 72 scholars.
Who wrote it?
The people, the prophets that they translate. The Hebrews wrote it.
Look, that's
No, you don't know what you're talking
Yes,
about,
I
man.
do.
No, you gonna
That's-
shut down.
yes, I do.
King James didn't write the Bible.
King James didn't write the Bible.
That's translated.
It wasn't written in 1611. He authorized him to translate what was already written.
What King James did was he
Psalm 68
authorized
verse 11.
for certain things to be in the King James Bible that he approved of.
No, that's not
If
true.
King James
That's
didn't
not
approve
true.
of it, it did not make itself
get
into
the
the
front
1611.
of the,
I'm going to give you a prime example of that.
We'll give
when
you
you
the
look at
edict.
that, tell me why the Messiah's name is not in the King James Bible. The
Messiah's name is in the- what
No,
are
it's
you talking
not.
about?
They
Go
have
back to the original
Iesus.
language.
They have Iesus in the 1611
That's
Bible.
Greek.
No shit.
That's a transliteration.
No shit. It's a transliteration.
What?
My point is
Your
this.
point is mute.
No, my point is
Your
this.
point is moot.
You're reading out of the book that was
Man,
approved
I knew
by
he was gonna
the
turn
people
into
that
a
put us
going
in
on,
captivity.
You're not right. You're not right.
And neither
You're
are
not
you.
right. Yes, we are.
But we
Neither
don't
are
show
you.
Jesus is simply a transliteration
Of who?
of the Hebrew word
Of who?
Yahushai.
Yahushai.
Yes,
Who is Yahushai?
that's who the world calls Jesus.
No, they don't call Yahushai Jesus.
Yes,
No,
His
you
name
know.
was- you know.
Because you don't
Okay,
know.
look, I'm gonna tell you right now.
don't know,
You
man.
can't
Go
get
ahead, man.
a Hebrew
Psalm
language.
68 verse 11.
Go to the Hebrew language.
Lord gave
You
the
can't
word.
get the Hebrew
Great
letters
was the company of those
and
that
come up
published.
with Yahushai.
Give me Acts chapter
can.
7.
Do it all
What,
the
no,
time.
what you can
Give
come
me
up
Acts.
with.
Give me,
Hold on,
give me Acts
What you
chapter
can
7.
come up with
I want to
is
see how
you can
I wanna
come
see
up
how-
with Yahushai.
I want to see how intelligent
No.
you are.
You can
I
come
want to see how
up. You can come
intelligent
up with
you are.
Yahusha. Is what you can come up with.
No.
Yad, right?
They don't even know.
You don't even know.
Ha, Ua, Shin, Ayin.
You lying, man.
No, I'm not lying.
No, he just doesn't know. He just doesn't know.
He just don't know. All right, listen.
Listen to the scriptures. Listen to the scriptures.
This is Acts chapter 7. Let's start at 44.
Okay, go ahead, read it. And I want you
ahead.
to tell me who this person is.
Okay, go ahead.
Right. Our fathers had the tabernacle of witness in the wilderness, as he had appointed, speaking unto Moses,
Yep.
that he should make it according to the fashion that he had seen.
Okay.
Which also our fathers that came after brought in with Jesus into the possession of the Gentiles.
Who is that? Who is that? Who is that Jesus right there?
Who is Jesus?
Who is that Jesus right there in Acts chapter 7?
Read it again.
Right.
Read. Start the way you started from again.
I want you to put the pieces together. Think about the timing. Our fathers had the tabernacle of witness
Don't
in the
help that
wilderness. No, he needs a little.
Oh, hell, you don't know.
Help that baby. Somebody help that baby. All right. Our fathers had the tabernacle of witness in the wilderness, as he had appointed.
Let's stop there. Our fathers had the tabernacle where?
In the wilderness.
In the
Of
wilderness.
witness in the wilderness.
Who's speaking right now?
This is Stephen speaking to the Pharisees.
So Stephen, who is Stephen?
Stephen was one of the disciples.
Was he an
of the
Israelite
Lord.
or was he
Yes,
a Gentile?
was. Yes, he was.
He was an Israelite.
Yes, he was.
Okay, so you had an Israelite saying, our fathers had the tabernacle in the wilderness.
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
As he had appointed, speaking unto Moses, that he should make it according to the fashion that he had seen. He's quoting something. Which also our
He's really just telling the story.
yeah, he's going back.
Go ahead.
Which also our fathers that came after brought in with Jesus unto the possession of the Gentiles.
Who was that Jesus right there?
I don't know Jesus.
Who was that Jesus right there that Stephen is talking about?
I don't know who Jesus. Jesus is a made up
It is. You're right.
image. So
You're
I don't know who you're
absolutely
referring
right.
to.
It is a
whenever you say that.
transliteration into the Greek. See, you don't know the difference between a translation.
Yes, I do.
and
Between a translation and a transliteration.
So what is a transliteration?
A transliteration is taking it from the original source and trying to fit it into another language.
No, trying to fit it into another alphabet. Not the trans.
Each language has an alphabet. So what you're saying is the same thing.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you
No,
are.
we're not.
Okay, a transliteration.
You're trying to fit it into an alphabet.
Right, it's like taking the
Not the
Messiah's
language.
name in Hebrew and trying to fit it into the English alphabet, right? Which makes up the English language,
Let me
right?
ask you a question.
Right or wrong?
Let me ask you a question.
Right or wrong?
Let me ask you a question.
Right or wrong?
You're right. Let me
Thank
ask you
you.
a question. When they say Elias in the New Testament, who are they talking about?
Elias? I don't know who Elias is. I know Elijah. I know Eliyahu. I don't know who Elias is. That's a European name. I don't care about
Exactly. It was a transliteration.
So what I'm saying
because there were
is-
people that were speaking Greek.
So what I'm saying is you're reading out of a book that's been transliterated.
That's
fine.
It has no meaning.
There's
Yes, it does.
No,
bro.
it doesn't.
You can easily
Yeah,
go.
no,
No,
he's
it
right.
doesn't.
No, Jesus.
you talking about the word itself
read it
has
in
meaning.
the
No,
original
the word
language.
Jesus
That's what
does
I'm
not
saying.
have meaning.
Yeah, I
That's
can
why
see
you
it.
have to go into the Hebrew and
Yes.
find out
Right,
his
so why
real
are you
name.
reading out of a
So I'm
1611?
asking
Listen.
I'm asking you, when Stephen was talking and he mentioned that word Jesus, who was he talking about? He was talking about Joshua, who brought them
I know who
into
Joshua
the land.
is. Joshua is another European name. He led the
But that's not a-
Israelites into
You
Canaan and all that.
just missed it.
You just totally missed it. You think you're being intelligent, but you're not.
What's your point?
What is your point?
What's your point here?
What is your point?
My point here is you're out here telling people about the heritage of the Hebrew Israelites, right?
Yes, correct. That's
Okay.
one thing we're
And the
telling
way
them
you're
about.
doing it is using the book that the people that put us in captivity wrote.
They did not.
No, they
Yes,
didn't.
they did. You're
No,
reading
they
out of
didn't.
what language are you
No, they
speaking
didn't.
right now?
Before the
We're
white
speaking
What
English.
language are you speaking?
We're speaking English.
What book is that written in?
It's
What
written
language?
in English, King's English.
Case closed.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
What are you talking?
You want us to read
Have you ever
Hebrew
read
for-
Herodotus? Have you ever read the book Herodotus?
Until you
Have you
get
ever
back-
read the book
Look,
Herodotus?
I'm gonna put it- I'm
Have
gonna
you
put it
ever
this
read
way. I'm gonna
Herodotus?
put it this way.
Have you read the
I'm
history?
gonna put it this way.
Have you
The
ever? You
original
won't answer my
language-
question.
The original language
Have
is
you
not
ever
even
read
Hebrew.
the histories?
What's the original language?
It's not even Hebrew.
Have you
if
ever
you want to
read
be
the
quote unquote
histories?
technical, it's Abarim. It's not Hebrew at all.
No, it's Ibarya, actually. It's
Okay,
Ibarya.
are you from up north?
It's Ibarya.
Are you guys from up north?
It's Ibarya. Have you ever read
Are you
Herodotus?
with like GMS?
Can you answer my question?
Are you with GMS?
Can you answer my question? You already know who we're with.
I know what y'all about. So why are you?
So
why are y'all
can you answer my question?
Why are y'all causing confusion?
Answer my question.
It don't matter.
Have you ever read Herodotus?
It
the
doesn't
histories?
matter if I read Herodotus, the historian. I don't care.
Have you ever read it?
I don't care.
What books have you read that
What
were
matters?
translated?
What matters is where we're at right now in our economic
You're an idiot,
situation.
man. You're an idiot.
You're over here
You're an
preaching,
idiot.
right?
Idiot,
When
man.
our people are still
about
out here
economic
as
situation.
low homeless people. They have no jobs.
You're an idiot.
Who the hell you want us to
You're
read?
an idiot.
You want us to read a nigga on the streets Hebrew?
No, what I'm saying is you're living your life based off of a book when the Most High is already in you. It's already in you. How about instead of y'all
But he
preaching
acts
this,
like
how about y'all
just
create
one day.
jobs?
He acts like just
Create
one day he
jobs,
came to that
right?
realization. Like he didn't read things and come into understanding.
you are.
About what he came
I know
to,
who
man.
you are.
You didn't just magically.
What organization are you from? Tell me what organization you're from. What organization are you from?
So the
I
white,
just
the white man
realized-
What
wrote the
organization
Bible?
are you
So
from?
the white man that put us in slavery
This
wrote
book
this?
right here.
He wrote that.
He transliterated that.
He did?
Yes.
So why did he leave in there and get Deuteronomy 28 and 68?
I already know about that. That's talking about he brought us over to Egypt and shit. I already know about that.
So why would he leave that in there?
What do you mean? Why would he leave that?
The white
Why
man
would
is
he
the
leave
biggest
Lord in there?
homosexual on the planet
Why
Earth.
would he
Why did
leave
he
Lord
leave
in there?
Leviticus 20 and
Why would he
13 in
leave
there?
Lord in there? Why would he leave Bell in there? All this
That's
shit
why
is
you have to
irrelevant.
go back to the original source.
Exactly.
Which we do.
And it's not English.
Time for dinner.
Yeah,
It's
take
not
the idiot
English.
away. Take the idiot away.
Oh, you hanging with the damn captor. You're hanging with your captor. You're hanging with your captor.
What? Hey, what? Hey, what? Hey, what? Hey, what? Hey, what?
He's my friend.
So what? He's an idiot.
Why?
You not call him an idiot? That's very rare.
Why?
You're hanging with the captor. You damn
You
idiot.
haven't met his ass before. Matter?
Man, shut up, man.
Can you not be rare?
Hey, you're an idiot, man. You're an idiot, man.
You're hanging with the. Look at your friend.
On a nigga real quick.
Get this nigga on camera with his friends.
Hey, but then he's talking about the captors.
This is the captor. Look,
He's talking about his captors.
right. These are his friends.
Yeah, but he just got through talking about his captors.
Dick, Andy, and Ned.
Your captors.
Dude's a damn idiot.
You're reading a book from your captors when that bitch.
You're an idiot,
But
man.
his captor just came and threw
You're a
him away.
stone-cold idiot,
We
man.
gotta eat now.
Ain't nothing left for you to but to die, man.
You just got captured.
He just got
Yeah, you just
recaptured.
got captured again by your captor.
Hey, give me Isaiah 34 and read that verse and then give me Isaiah 34,
Hosea chapter 4 verse 6.
34.
My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
What was this nigga talking about?
I don't know, man.
He said it's the word Jesus. Jesus ain't nothing but a transliteration. So I asked him, man, if he knows the difference between translation and translation. Yes, I do. Well, then you know that King James didn't write the Bible. Our oppressors didn't write this Bible, because if our oppressors wrote this Bible, then our oppressors wouldn't put in there that they gonna be destroyed.
Right.
They prescribe their own
They prescribe their own destruction in this book if they wrote it, man.
Obadiah.
They banned us from reading it during slavery.
Yeah, and they banned us from reading it because if they knew if we read it, we would find out who we were as a people, man. See a nigga like that, you can't sit there and teach no nigga like that, man.
Right.
Now, give me Isaiah chapter 34, man.
And
He laughing because I called him a nigga, you know.
yeah, man. Yeah, a lot of you cool.
I know you agree with us calling black people niggas.
That is not what I mean.
They sure are niggas.
You won't agree 10 minutes later when we get on the white man.
Yeah, right, man. Right. 34 and start right at about 16.
Yeah, Isaiah 34.
He said, put down the book. Yeah, put down the book.
So how do you come up with that concept of Yah?
Hey, but you know what? That's a Nathaniel 7 fucking breakdown, man. Stop the presses, because our oppressor has eliminated the truth, man. There's no way to truth. But he's talking about God is in us, like he just is magically arrived to that
White man
conclusion.
got the blueprint.
He just magically arrived to the conclusion that God is within us. No, you're right about that.
Right.
You unfair Negro. You nigger.
That's right. Hey, go ahead, brother.
Right. In English, you read about it,
Yeah.
you stupid bitch.
Yeah. Hey, well, everything he knows, he read a book about it. And that's why, the reason why I asked him if because he seemed like one of them smarty art niggas, you know? So I asked him if he had read Herodotus. Now, coming up, I read Herodotus like 10 times, man. That was one of my favorite books, man. And when I was in school, we read the Odyssey.
Iliad.
And the Iliad. That wasn't, but it was written in English. That wasn't originally written in English, man. But I bet the nigga believes in them books.
You see how he just randomly came on? What are y'all, GMS or something?
Like he didn't already know. But that's another thing, man. You people are scary, man.
Yeah.
We ain't scared to say y'all names, man.
Yeah. Hey, well, like for instance, let's an example, right? Let's say he went to college or whatever, and he read about. Now the brother was talking about cells and microbes and stuff like that. There was a man by by the name of Leeuwenhoek, who created the first microscope to actually see those
So he's looking at first off.
see those little microbes, man. Okay? Now, how does he know that? Leeuwenhoek spoke German, man. You know what I'm saying? All right, go ahead, brother. These people are stupid, man.
There's languages on the planet.
Yeah,
Get
Nate,
over it.
just get over it. Like Nate, man.
Like-
We ain't talking. We ain't making it it ain't no thing where it's like, now the scripture do say you do have to declare his name. Well, his name was originally in Hebrew.
Get over it.
He said Yahusha. I said, who is that? God damn, man, that's a new one. Normally they say Yeshua.
Our captors poured religion and propaganda and lies on us, man.
Yeah, go
We
ahead.
were set up to bring the truth.
Isaiah 34:16. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail. None shall want her mate.
The words, what shall not fail? The words of the prophecies, man. Which is why we were getting into why we believe in this book. But I knew he was going to be a demon. I saw it bubbling up in there. I could see it bubbling up. Go ahead.
For my mouth it have commanded, and his spirit it have gathered them.
Right. And it's all spiritual, man. A nigga like that ain't going to get it. Hey, like even when so everybody knows we did the Daniel 11 test. Part of that Daniel 11 test, yeah, it's studying and going through the history and looking at different resources, but you also got to ask the Lord to put you in the spirit to understand it. If you don't understand it, then you know a brother who or elder who the Lord is working with will give you the further understanding through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Okay? Go ahead.
2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 16. All scripture is given by inspiration of the Most High, and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction.
That's every part of the scriptures, man. Okay? That's every part of the scriptures. All right, go ahead.
For correction, for instruction in righteousness, that the man of God may be perfect, thoroughly furnished into all good works.
That's right. And the good works are bringing the word out. All right? That's the good works, bringing the word out. Okay? Yeah. Hey, I got my water.
Right. 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 16. As also in all the epistles, speaking in them of these things, in which are some things hard to be understood, which they that are unlearned and unstable rest.
That's right.
As though they do also.
That dude was unlearned and unstable. Well, you saw why? Because he like to hang around with Edomites, man.
Yep.
First of all, what the hell is a nigga doing hanging around with Edomites? There was like 5 of them, man. And I called him an idiot. His friend said, hey. I said,
I hate it.
I hate making your ass.
Right cross.
How David Go ahead, man.
But they that are unlearned and unstable rest, as they do also the other scriptures, unto their own destruction.
Right, that guy didn't understand nothing, man. He didn't know what the hell he was talking about, man. he didn't know what the hell he was talking about.
Yeah, I mean, just because there's a transliteration in what you're reading doesn't eliminate the process and the fact that you can go to the original source, man. They're transliterating it from something.
Yeah, they
just
both,
find out what
they're
that
both
is.
translating it and transliterating it. Okay.
Just find out where it's from. You know?
Yeah, like the word Easter. And that's why I wanted you. Now, Elder Tahar had read the beginning of 1611.
That was a good point.
To King James, he said he knew that they probably wasn't going to get it, 100% right, man. So he said, keep revising it, man. If you can, find it.
The Most High had it set up to where somebody was going to get it right. That's the bottom line. The Most High set it up to where somebody was going to get it right. He chose who the prophet was going to be, and he got them doing the work. Well, he said in their mouth was found no guile, and they followed the Lamb whithersoever he went. And they were sealed from the foundation of the earth, man. So after all that ass whooping and slavery we've been through, the truth is still here, man. Right. No matter what, America's still gonna be destroyed. Right. No matter how much witchcraft and lies the white man has pushed out there, America's still gonna be destroyed, man. The white man is still a devil. Esau's still on the earth. Yep. The children of Israel still on the earth, man. All of that stuff is still stands true, man. Okay? The white man is not more powerful than the Most High, man. That's what these niggas are basically saying. The white man got the blueprint, and somehow he didn't out-thunk the Most High, man. Come on, man. No. The Most High got the white man doing all that wicked shit, man. The white man ain't on his own agenda. The Most High set the white man up to do all of that stuff, man. And it said that in the scriptures that he was going to come and do all of that, man. Change times and seasons and days. Push out of his, like it says in Revelations, he was going to push out of his mouth a flood of lies after the woman. Then it said that they was going to try to deceive the elect, if they could deceive the elect. So yeah, we know that the white man have done certain things, and there's certain things out there that are untrue, but the truth stands, man. And like it says in 2nd Esdras,
can't find it.
The truth that has been without fruit shall be declared, man.
Yep. Now, he said the moon hadn't been created. This guy, now we back on 14th Street guy. But neither had men. There was no need for the moon to be created because somebody, get Wisdom of Solomon. Give me that Wisdom of Solomon where it talks about the moon. See, basically, you're just being wicked, man. You're just anti-GMS, man. And to the guy talking about I didn't have no fringes. No, I think is it Sirach? Yeah, Sirach, what is it? 43, I'm sorry, Sirach. On the page talking about I didn't have the fringes on the Sabbath. First of all, it wasn't even the Sabbath that day, man. Okay? Go ahead.
Sirach 43 and 5.
Yeah, just start right up at the top.
Sirach 43 and 1. The pride of the height, clear firmament, the beauty of heaven with its glorious show. The sun, when it appeareth, declaring at his rising a marvelous instrument, the work of the Most High.
Right.
At noon,
it was an instrument what? To rule over the greater light of the day. Go ahead.
At noon it parcheth the country. Who can abide the burning heat thereof? A man blowing a furnace is in works of heat. But the sun burneth the mountains 3 times more, breathing out fiery vapors and sending forth bright beams. It dimmeth the eyes. Great is the Lord that made it, and at his commandment it runneth hastily.
Yep.
He made the moon also to serve in her season for a declaration of times and a sign of the world.
He made the moon. Let's read that again.
He made the moon also to serve in her seasons for a declaration of time.
That's how you determine time. It didn't say that with the sun. That you determine time with the moon, man. When that new moon comes in, that's how you know it's a new month. Go ahead.
A sign.
Now, if that's a new month, that means that's the first day of the month. I mean, that's simple. That's simple logic, man. That's not even a difficult concept to grasp, man. Go ahead.
And a sign of the world. From the moon is the sign of feast, a light that decreaseth in her perfection. The month is called after her name,
Yep.
increasing wonderfully.
The month is called after a name, increasing wonderfully. So when it's a new moon, it increases the duration of the month in light. Go ahead.
Being an instrument of the armies above, shining in the firmament of heaven. The beauty of heaven, the glory of the stars, the ornament giving light in the highest places of the Lord.
Well, there you go, man. So first of all, he said the moon wasn't even created. That just goes to show how inept you people are, man. See, here it is. We're trying to give you just the reality of what the scriptures is saying, but you bucking up against us because you don't like our personality, or maybe, hey, y'all the guys are.
They did that to the Lord.
They did that to the Lord. They did that to John the Baptist, man. All right? All right, he found it. Okay, so now let's get back to this point. Now, Elder Tahar read this, I believe, last week. But it gets into what King James did. Because every nigga always wants to have an argument and say that our oppressors wrote that. Our oppressors didn't write this book. The great men of our nation wrote this book, man. And it was gathered together. It tells you in, before you read that, give me Isaiah chapter 8, started right at about the 16th verse.
There's various times in history where the white man was burning the Bible, man.
All types of books. Shit, they burnt down the library at Heliopolis. They burnt down the library in Alexandria. They said the library in Alexandria had so much knowledge in it, which, by the way, the curators of that library were Jews, man. They were Israelites, man. In fact, when you read in the beginning of Sirach, it tells you he went down into Alexandria. To do what? To study the different books that his grandfather had written, man. 16.
Isaiah 8 and 16. Bind up the testimony and seal the law among my disciples.
See, that's how it happened. So you had one prophet, he'll write this, and it shows you that in Jeremiah. There's a scene in which Jeremiah wrote about the destruction of Israel, or Salakia, the southern kingdom, at the hands of Babylon, and somebody destroyed it, man, burned it. So the Lord told him to write it again, showing you that these prophets were writing that stuff down, man. And then certain other people that had to keep in the temple were laying these books up together, man. Okay,
power of the Most High.
Go ahead.
And I will wait upon the Lord that hideth his face from the house of Jacob, and I will look for him. Behold, I and the children whom the Lord hath given me are for signs and wonders in Israel from the Lord of hosts, which dwelleth in Mount Zion.
Come on, that's the point. The point is that the book was laid up. It was piecemeal. And in the canon, hey, we're going to have books written in the kingdom, man. All right? We're going to have books in the kingdom, man. I got a lot of stories to tell. I'm pretty sure you brothers got a lot of stories to tell, man. I know Elder Tahar got all the elders, they got a lot of stories to tell, man. And thus Lahab was banished. You know what I'm saying? Or like what they called that dude, the herbal imp. and thus Ataria, was that his name? Ataria? Yeah. And thus Ataria was banished, never to be seen again. Yeah. And it did look like he had a little bit of leprosy, some little vitiligo going, man. Talking about your steam. What type of steam is that?
This is in the beginning of the King James 16:11, in the section called the Epistle, 4th paragraph down in the middle. It says, "For when your highness at once out of deep judgment apprehended how convenient it was that out of the original sacred tongues together..."
Out of the original sacred tongues, man. Out of the original sacred tongues. The Greek alphabet is a different alphabet than the Hebrew alphabet. So there's some words that you're going to be able to translate, and then there's some words because of the nature of the language. You know, like it tells you in the prologue of Sirach that the things that are uttered in Hebrew have full force. So there's some words that you can't. There's no word in another language for it, man. And that's with all languages. It ain't just between English, Hebrew, and Greek and Latin. That's with all languages, man. You know? Go ahead.
Together we're comparing of the labors, both in our own and other foreign languages, of many worthy men who went before us. There should be one more exact translation of the Holy Scriptures.
It said both in our own and other languages. Now he talked about the English tongue, but that sparked other people to because it was already basically the ecumenical language of the day at that time of King James was Latin. Okay, was Latin. So if you were a preacher, pretty much you spoke it in Latin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And it talks about that. You can read how in back in what they called the Dark Ages, they would go up and they would just read the Latin Vulgate.
In
the
that
common
voice,
people might not even understand.
Yeah, in that voice, and
you know.
Search his name. In Excelsior. Go ahead, brother. That bullshit, man. Hey, go ahead.
Your Majesty did never detest.
And prior to this, you had other English translations like the Geneva Bible. There was another, I think, Bible, I believe, I could be wrong, I'll have to look it up, but I think it was called the Canterbury Bible. Go ahead.
To urge and to excite those to whom it was commended that the work might be hastened, and that the business might be expedited.
Right. That's why he had so many. That's why he had so many scholars, man. So he can get the job done. To do what? To translate out of the original languages into English, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, might be expedited in so decent a manner as a matter of such importance might justly require.
Yep. That pretty much makes the point. I mean, there's more in there, but that makes the point. Go ahead, brother.
2nd Esdras 14 and 22. I'll start at 21. For thy law is burnt, therefore no man knoweth the things that are done of thee, or the works that shall begin. But if I have found grace before thee, send thy Holy Ghost unto me, and I shall write all that had been done in the world since the beginning, which were written in thy law, that men may find thy path, and that they which live in the latter days may live.
Yeah, and that's it. I mean, you don't even got to break that down. The men that came before us, the righteous men that came before us, said he laid it down by line, man. They laid it down by line, man. Some had great works, some had small works, but it all comes together. It all fits together, man. Like Obadiah as compared to Isaiah, like even Peter as compared to Paul. Peter was the head apostle, but even Paul admitted, he said, man, I did more work than all of them, man. But he wasn't aggrandizing himself above Peter. That's just the way that it is, man. You see, our people need to be taught the right way, man. They ain't being taught the right way. They being taught the wrong way. Yep. And by the wrong people.
Yeah, by their captors.
Yeah, and by simple niggas
who have made a league, a pact with the captors.
You know, even though they call themselves Israelites, man. You made that argument. You posted the scripture up there, and you thought you was all deep, talking about the moon wasn't created. He thought he was all deep. Right? He thought he was all deep. But you ain't deep, man. You missed the fact that men weren't even created yet, man. How could you miss that? You know what I'm saying? The Most High blood, that's how you missed it. Because this thing is spiritual. Because you can quote 1,000,000 scriptures, man. These brother can come out here and quote a gazillion scriptures, man. But if the Lord ain't working with you, it doesn't matter, man.
That's the key, man. It's got to be opened up to you.
Right, he said, I will come in and sup with thee. If the Lord ain't supping with you, man, you basically a fish out of water, man. Go ahead. Hey, and y'all speak.
Wisdom of Solomon